Hey YouTube, I know I haven't posted a video in like the last 5 months, and this is one of the reasons, not the main reason. My laptop stopped working and I lost ambition, so I stopped making videos. But in the last month or so, I've been working on this project. It's an art contest, like a provincial art contest. So I put about 200 hours into this and done a bunch of different things. I'll show it to you really quick and kind of explain what I've done here. So I've named it revulsion or reflection. So that's like the sudden change in heart. So basically this guy went up to this portal that in hieroglyphs says pole of true reflection. He ignored this little sign here that in Japanese says beware, and now he's running away from himself. Made the guys out of wire. Copper wire is like the skeleton, and then legs out of brass, the arms out of aluminum, and then kind of a rib cage and a head out of copper. The limits for this contest were pretty strict, 18 by 18 by 18 inches. So I decided to push it right to the limits and end up with something that looks like this. So to put the frame together, it's white oak, and I've used box joints like this. I hand cut those on the bandsaw, which is a pain in the butt. I also used box joints down here to attach the walkway to the frame. I use a table saw for that. Much better idea. I also carved some handles into the top of the frame and wood burned a ruler on the back top rail. That's in 30/2 of an inch. So there's 576 lines hand burned into the top rail. So like I pointed out earlier, we've got the portals, which are a complete mirror image of each other. So if you look at this one right here, that symbol's on that side, and you come over here, same symbols over there. Same goes for the archway right here. There's a moon, a moon here and a sun there, and there's cracks all over it to make it look aged, and the cracks are mirrored to this side. You can check that out on my Instagram. I've got pictures the whole way through this project. Then there's these ponds here that I intended on having running water coming down from here, but never got to it because the water pump didn't work and I didn't have time to buy a new one. So there's a brass inlay in the bottom of all 4 of these right here, and they're mirrored from each other, here to here and here to here. Next I've got this guy on the back wall that's made of cherry, and I basically drew that out, drew the other one out, and then in the metal shop used the milling machine to carve it all out as best I could to all the lines, and then I hand carved the rest of it. If you look close back to the ponds, I did some dowel inlays on the sides. This back wall here is made of end grain cherry. So if you look really close at it, I'll get a better one from this side. If you look really close at it, each and every single one of these blocks I had to cut. So the tree would have been growing out this way. There's, I believe, over 500 different blocks that I glued up, and they're thin enough to fit right there. That was a pain in the butt. I continued on the floor with white oak. It's quarter sawn white oak, just to match the frame a bit. This is the walkway. It's laminated cherry and walnut, and like I said earlier, it's box jointed into the bottom of the frame. What else do I have? I guess the middle wall is the only thing that's left, and it's made of red oak. I took a really thick piece, I think it was like 3.5 inches, and I cut it all up into like strips that were this thick, and glued it all together into a panel, and I'm really glad that it held together. I used the bandsaw to cut it out to fit right here. I also used the bandsaw to cut out the back so that these two guys could fit. I still have to cover this with construction paper. I'll do that shortly. And by shortly I mean like right now, because I have 10 minutes left to finish this video and get this project to the city. Back to the arches. This is all walnut, and I hand carved every single one of these little bricks and the cracks, and then I burned them. Added those in just to get rid of this right angle. I felt like it flowed better. And I think that's about it, other than these little corner pieces that I added for strength, just when you're holding on to it, because these are the handles here. Yeah, I think that's about it. It took me about 200 hours to put that together. This is my first like one take video, and it's only because I don't have much time. Oh, also these signs that I made are just extra section of this pathway, just put on an angle. After learning from this project that I do have that much time in a month, and I could just be spending that time working towards something that I could, you know, say, look, I did this, wow. I'm going to start back up with the YouTube. I just don't know why I quit, but it was a really rewarding feeling. So after this video right here, I've made a spoon video, and I think this is a really cool spoon. It's sapwood of white oak, so it almost kind of looks like olive wood, but I used a die grinder to shape this, which is a little bit different than most people would think you'd make a spoon. I just don't like chisels as much. It just takes too long. Also, while I've been gone, I started making smoking pipes. You can check out my other Instagram, Dylan's Custom Pipes, no spaces. I have one video where I showed you how to make a twisted pipe, but I've made quite a few pipes since then and sold quite a few. So there's that. And I think that's about it. I better finish this up. I think there's like 2 minutes left on the storage on my camera, and I gotta get this in. So I look forward to making a whole bunch of new videos really quick, and I'm really hoping to get 2,000 subscribers before the end of this year, so that gives me like a month. About the same amount of time I put into this, and I figure if I put the same amount of time into that as I did into this, it'll happen. So wish me luck.